This is a Japanese professor, and we're going to talk about 3 mistakes that are killing your Japanese game. My name is Hozan Morimoto, and from the time I was 9 years old, I studied for about 3 years in a Japanese supplementary school in America, or otherwise known as a Hoshuko. And I hated it so much because of these 3 things I'm about to share with you. I wasted a lot of time, it was a big headache, I hated going to school on Saturday. And so it eventually made me quit Japanese. 5 years later, I finally went to Japan, had the interest to learn Japanese. Back then I didn't really want to. I was being forced by my parents, and it was also super hard. I started watching tons and tons of anime, and I discovered learning how to learn Japanese through immersion. And then eventually I went to Japan, and with supplementing study and tweaking my Japanese learning method, and eventually I came up with what I teach today. Enough with the intro, let's get into it. First common mistake that most people don't know about is using Duolingo. The issue with Duolingo is it just teaches you little phrases, and it's nice because it teaches you like things in context, but it doesn't really give you a story. It just gives you the phrases, just the expression. So as I'm going to be hinting at, using stories instead of just learning word by word expressions is so much more helpful, because this is how our brains learn. We often go back we as human beings are storytellers. We often go back before history, before writing, we told stories to each other, and we remember these things. Also, when you watch a movie, we're really, even though there's maybe just one lesson, one main theme of a movie, it sticks with us because there's a story, it's engaging, it's emotional. All of these things are really important when learning, because originally we didn't learn from textbooks. We learned through just speaking with each other, and along with speaking with each other, there's stories, there's emotions, there's people, faces. We attached meaning to the things that we saw. It wasn't just books. It wasn't just grammar study. So moving on to the next one, it is grammar study. So grammar study isn't bad. I'm not saying it's bad, but it is bad on its own if you're just doing grammar study. So there's an issue with grammar study. So you might learn a new grammar function. So for example, with Japanese, there's the do form verb, do, right? Do. So this is like kaeru, which means to go home. Kaeru. All right. So you have kaeru, and when you want to say we can't go home, it's kaerenai. So this is changing do verbs into when you want to say you can't do something. So kaerenai, kaerenai. The do becomes a de, and then you add nai. Kaerenai, kaerenai. Okay, kaerenai. So when you learn, so you might see this, right? And the grammar function would be renai, or do verbs, right? So you would write this, or you go through a book and you see this, and then next to it's the definition, can't. You can't do something, okay? You can't do something, and then you're gonna remember, and you're gonna stick into your kaerenai, and then you're gonna add that to, you're gonna practice using that with other do verbs. So sawaru, sawarenai, you can't touch. Sawaru means to touch. Sawarenai, you can't touch. Yeah, so anyway, and then you're gonna go through that. The issue with that is you haven't adapted to the sound. You see, if you've seen it in an anime, you saw it reading a book, and you saw it in practice, especially listening to it helps so much, because you're adapting to the sound of the word. When your brain is adjusted and heard the sound so many times, it kind of just slips off the tongue when you say it. It just comes out. It's really easy to learn. So what I recommend is, don't just focus on studying grammar functions so you can make your way through textbooks in the JLPT. Actually hear it in practice, hear it in spoken language, hear it in the YouTube video, the drama, see it on the, you know, the subtitles and with like, see it in real use, and then it's gonna stick that much more, and you're not only just gonna be remembering it and seeing it in like textbooks and be able to answer questions, you're gonna be able to use it yourself. You're gonna be able to say it. So the third one is similar to grammar study, and the solution, this third one is similar to grammar study. It's flashcards. So, okay, I'm a big fan of Anki. I use Anki every day, all the time. So if you're using normal flashcards, first of all, use Anki. I made a video on like why there's an issue with Anki, but now we're not gonna get to that. I use Anki, it's great. However, using flashcards without context is really not so great. So there's these core decks that you might have heard of. You might have heard of before, core decks. So this is like the Core 2K Japanese, Core 5K Japanese, Core 2K, Core 5K. So it's like, you might be wondering, like, what is core? What's the core deck? The core deck is the most frequent, like 2K, right? This Core 2K, the most frequent 2,000 Japanese words used in spoken language. Okay, so what the idea behind this is you learn the average human being only uses like a certain amount of words each day. We don't use a great variety of words in a day. So, and there's a lot of words that are repeated. So the understanding is if you learn those words and then you learn those words, then you're covering like 50% of daily spoken language. And then, so it's just really efficient because you're learning the words that are actually being used. And that helps you a lot with understanding conversation and anime or whatever. However, if you're just sticking your head into the Core 2K without context, it's going to be very difficult. So with any learning, I suggest using context, watching anime, because what you do by like watching anime, watching dramas, YouTube videos, you're subconsciously storing the shape of the sound. Your brain is getting used to the sound of Japanese and these words. So when you hear it a lot, you don't have to understand it, you just have to hear it. You have to get adjusted to the sound. The first time you watch an anime, you're not gonna understand anything. You're not even going to feel like you understand the sound. It's like, I don't even know if this is Japanese or Korean or Spanish or whatever, but you keep watching it, you keep listening, and it doesn't have to be focused listening. You just watch like Naruto or something and have a good time. It doesn't have to be hard, it can be fun. Like you watch and your brain gets adjusted to the sound, and then when you get into the core decks, then you're like, okay, I've heard this before. And because it's a core deck, these words will have definitely come up in your anime because they're the most common words used in Japanese. And so then you go into your core decks, and then after just normal core decks, what I recommend is sentence mining. So you watch the anime, you watch with Japanese subtitles if you can, like use AniMelon, that's a good site, and then you copy the subtitle, and then you paste that into Anki with the definition. You can take a screenshot. There's a way to do that, but I'm not going to go over that in this video. There's a way to streamline that to make it really quick. But that's called sentence mining. So you watch the video, you read, and then you put that in your Anki deck, and then if you even add a screenshot on top of that of the situation, the scene, then it becomes really easy to remember because like, oh, I remember that scene, I remember what they were talking about, and this word is connected to that scene. And then like boom, it clicks because it's very similar. It's a lot more similar to real life than just like looking at a piece of paper with a word on it and then trying to stick it in your head, because now there's context, now there's a story, now there's emotion, and there's like, and you're having a good time. And that helps a lot. So just to review, Duolingo, just don't use it. It's really, you're really slowing down your potential Japanese learning. The 10 minutes that you spend on Duolingo every day could be spent much better watching anime and then sentence mining from that, or going through the core deck, or doing like grammar study and then supplying that with some reading, or reading a children's book even. Like you don't have to understand anything, just Duolingo It's really just to get your feet wet. So it's like, okay, I don't even know if I want to learn Japanese as a language. I just want to try it out, do it. Grammar study, don't just stick things in your head without actually understanding when they're used and getting used to the sound. And that's the same thing with flashcards. Make sure that you have something to supplement it with so that you understand a little bit better. So thank you for watching. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. I am the Japanese professor. You want to take your Japanese a step further? Subscribe. I also do one-on-one tutoring if you really want to take your Japanese to the next level. Yo, editor, professor here. So the first call is free. I'm doing 15-minute free discovery calls. All you have to do is book a call. You can check that in the YouTube description. In those 15 minutes, tell me a little bit about your Japanese situation, and I will hand tailor your Japanese study plan for you. So this is what anime that would be good to watch, what books that I recommend, what music even, like if you want music, what dramas, what sources, like videos that helped me, different resources. Like if you have any question, 15-minute discovery call, I got you. All you have to do is book. Make sure to leave a like and comment down below if there's anything that I missed or something that you have a question on. I look at my comment. Thank you so much. Good luck in your study. Keep it up.